Don't you wish you could go back to your life and do things a little bit different? Or simply put, give your younger self a piece of advice? We are in Union Square today. It's a beautiful day, and I want to know, what advice would you give your younger self? My name is Charlie Dior, and I'm here with MinaTV. Follow me. Let's go get some answers. All right, so hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Raylene. I'm from Jersey.
From Jersey. So I want to ask you, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, God. Oh, no.
I want to ask you, though, what advice would you give your younger self?
I say I'm 55.
Let's go back.
We can go all the way back.
All the way back. What advice would you give your younger self?
Accept your sexuality and just acknowledge it sooner, because it was always there. I just wouldn't acknowledge it at all. So I just say acknowledge it.
I want to know, what advice would you give your younger self?
I would say that being different is a good thing and that it gets better. And now, like, I used to be a little kid and I had nothing, and now I'm successful. It's how I work at a corporate office and got 2 jobs, going to school, getting my degree. Shit, so it gets better.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I'd say be true to yourself and don't let the bastards get you down.
Ooh, who are the bastards? You want to mention their name?
The bastards are all the haters.
All the haters.
I guess.
Let's go back. What advice would you give your younger self?
I guess it's stay humble.
Stay humble. And why do you say that? You weren't humble when you were younger?
I don't think I was. I always thought everything was like, oh, I'm so great. People should like recognize me for being great. But I realized, that doesn't get you anywhere. It's literally hard work, and it shows in a lot of people, and it's inspiring. And I wish I did that for my own self.
What age you want?
Okay, so at age 13, what advice would you give that young girl?
Well, you know what? It's hard to say because I grew up in the original Black Panther Party. So my mother was one of the originals. So 13, I was about this.
So what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh my God. I think to stop being so self-conscious and thinking about what other people think of you. Even if you come from a really conservative background, you can't let that shape who you are.
Okay, so I want to ask you one question, sir. What advice would you give your younger self?
Go back to school and get a better education and make peace with some of my family.
Come close, don't be scared. Come close. All right, so what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self?
Yes.
To love myself early. To start loving myself early.
Why do you think you didn't start loving yourself? What happened?
I honestly was afraid of the person that I was. I was afraid of coming out to my family and disappointing everyone. But no one's going to love me before I love myself, so.
I like your crop top. Can you show a little bit of his crop top? Oh, you did? All right, so I want to know, what advice would you give your younger self?
I tell my younger self to not be so scared. I think growing up I was pretty insecure about myself, and it wasn't until, right now that I kind of realized, my true self. So I wish I told myself not to be so scared,
What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self. Be fearless. Stop caring what people think so much about you, and just follow your heart.
At what age are you giving this advice to? Is it 13 or?
Yeah, 13.
I want to know though, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh my God, be weird. Be magical. Be magical because you feel it. You feel it. And every time someone throws your books across the classroom, pick it up and walk away.
This happened to you? Somebody threw a book at you?
They tried to bully. Tried.
What age is this?
Middle school, 11, 12, 13. But don't fucking put up with it.
Be magical. What advice would you give your younger self?
That's a good question. I would say to love yourself more, because it will help you out when you get into your 30s. So I would say love yourself more and embrace yourself and your flaws, because life is going to get difficult, and you have to be strong within yourself to continue on.
Okay, I know what. I would give that girl advice on I had mouth. Not in a nasty way, but so if you say, "Ooh, I gained the weight," I'm like, "No, you fat."
Oh.
I was that type of girl.
I want to know, Sherwin, what advice would you give your younger self?
To do what I always felt was right, and to just follow my dream, follow my purpose, and not let anyone make me walk away from doing what I want to do with my life.
And at what age is this? Are you giving this advice to?
18.
Piece of advice you want to give your younger self, maybe when you were 15 or 16?
Don't worry about anything in your life. It'll all work out.
All work out. You guys, you hear this? All right, so I want to know, what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self, to love everybody and treat everybody like you want to be treated.
There you go. I want to know, what advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self, I would say believe in yourself. Do not allow a relationship to throw you off of your path. I would tell my younger self to eat vegetables and not meat and hot dogs and
That's a good one.
hamburgers. I would tell my younger self that I love you.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Ooh, advice I would give my younger self. Trust the process. Believe in yourself a little bit more, probably. And save your money.
Save your money. What about you? What advice would you give your younger self?
Stop worrying about shit. Everything is gonna be fine. Don't be no fucking scared bitch.
I said certain things that harmed people, made them feel a certain way, but I didn't know. And I had a friend that committed she committed suicide.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, on something that I said, but I did not mean it in that way. I just said, well, go ahead, because you acting stupid. You've been talking about it. Just go ahead and do it. I didn't know the goofy girl was going to actually do it. You see what I'm saying? So at that age, curb your mouth.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Boy, be yourself, be brave and confident. Don't be afraid to speak your mind and speak out. I was a very shy child, and when I learned to get my voice, life just became more fun. So speak your truth.
What about you?
I agree.
You agree. What about you?
I would say follow your dreams, I guess. I was very caught up in a lot of things that my parents told me to do. So now that I'm following what I actually want to do. So yeah.
Much happier like that, right?
Yes, I am.
What about you? What advice would you give your younger self?
I would say to just stand up for yourself. I was also a very shy kid, and I was dealing with a lot of things, and I didn't know how to stand up to that and to stand your ground.
All right, so there you have it, MinaTV. You heard what New Yorkers had to say. Now I want to hear from you. What advice would you give your younger self? Comment below, let us know. Until next time, my name is Charlie Dior. It's been real. Peace.